Hey guys, Jason. I'm going to be coming at you with the Code Half project. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I'm going to have a regular host that's going to be with me. His name's Rich. He's not going to be here on the first couple of episodes. He's got family stuff he's got to do and dad stuff. And I think his wife's mean as hell or something, and she makes him stay at home or hell, I don't know.
Maybe he just hates you.
Yeah, it could be it, but us cops don't like leaving the house. Anyway, it's the Code Half project or Code 0.5. I don't know what we're going to really call it yet, but I say that like, you know, if we get a call on the radio for, you know, like a shooting or a domestic, you know, something serious, they'll be like, hey, the shooting happened at such and such, and we're going to run Code 3. So we turn our lights and our sirens on, and, you know, with due regard, we're going to drive like as fast as we can and safely as we can to get there. If it's not an emergency call, then we're going to drive Code 1. No lights, no sirens, just regular driving. This podcast is going to be about the other calls that we get. The calls that we get, and it's like, man, do I really need to go to this? Is there a purpose for me to go there? So, basically, you got your true crime podcasts that talk about the stories and the cool stuff that happens, but we're going to talk about all the other crap that happens outside of those calls. I got Adam with me here today. Adam has actually been a jack of all trades. He was a cop for a little while. He was a fireman for a little while. And now he's in the National Guard?
Yes.
Army National Guard?
Army National Guard. Oklahoma National Guard.
Okay, so he's in the Guard now. And he's going to be telling us some of his stories today. I'm going to have probably 2 or 3 episodes with him on here because I'm sure being involved with the law enforcement and cops and the Army and all that stuff, I'm sure he's got some crazy-ass stories that he's going to tell us.
Plenty of shenanigans.
Well, and I've always wondered about you firemen. It seems like every time I turn around, somebody's grabbing someone's ass or something. And
we're all like that. We all have, all first responders have those gay innuendos where we want to go and smack each other in the butt, just like baseball, football. Catcher runs up to the pitcher, talks to him for a second, and turns around, smacks him on the butt. It's all that kind of fun play.
Yeah, but you guys go too far with it. Hell, I've seen some of y'all try to kiss each other before.
Well, that's another. Okay, that's actually called something. It's called gay chicken. Okay,
it's called what?
Gay chicken.
Gay chicken.
Yeah, it's where you, and it's military too.
Y'all actually try to kiss each other.
It's as far as you want to go until the other one gives out. I've almost kissed a man before.
And that right there says enough for firemen. I mean, and y'all do that shit in the military too?
That was military. That wasn't That wasn't firefighter. That was military.
And you call it what? Gay chicken?
Gay chicken. Yeah.
Because it's like you're pecking your head at each other or something. And
oh no, there's other things like if you go beyond actually like kissing each other and not like making out, but like if you actually peck someone, well, the other person's got to go farther than that if he wants to win. So he's got to do something far worse than what you just did. Not that that's worse.
So but, is the Army like the Navy or whatever? Because I hear about them guys in the submarine. What do they say? 50 sailors go on a submarine and 25 couples come out or whatever.
A submarine is full of semen, so.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to just be talking. That's basically the dumb crap we're going to be talking about. The other stuff that happens in law enforcement and public service and all that you guys don't even know about. I haven't even thought about paramedics. I'm sure they go through some crazy crap, too.
Yeah, some of them are just showboats, though. Most of them. Yeah, they're there and they want to have the glory. Now, I do know several that have been phenomenal at their job.
Yeah.
But,
well, and I can tell you talking about paramedic, that brings me to my first story that I wanted to bring up on here. I get called out to a guy. He's seeing people, okay, and this guy he calls a lot, and it's the people that he sees is drug induced. And so I go out there, and I go out there a lot. A lot of times I'll just go out and talk to him, and he'll relax or chill out and that kind of stuff, and then I go on about my day. But Anyway, I get a call to go out there, and he's telling me there's, people out running around his property. So I show up. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And he's telling me where he saw these guys out. And I'm, entertaining this. And I go, and I kind of, half-ass look around. And he finally hollers at me and says, hey, man, he goes, come here. All right. And I go over there, and he goes, man, I'm hurting. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, dude, he goes, I'm just hurting. I goes like, do you need to go to the hospital or something? You need a paramedic or something to come out here? And he's like, no, man. He goes, earlier I was riding my bike. I'm like, yeah. I was like, where are you riding your bike at? And he points over, and I know the road he's talking about, and it's a gravel road. And I think they had recently just like regraded it, so the rocks are loose, the ground's not packed back down and everything. And this guy, he rides a bicycle everywhere. And
Hi-Ho Silver.
he's telling me about his bike and all that, and he's going down the road, and I'll see him, he goes up to the convenience store a lot, and it's like 3 or 4 miles from his house. So he tells me that he was on his way to the convenience store, and he's pedaling like hell, riding his bike, and the ground was kind of loose and the gravel and all that. And he said he went to stop abruptly, and when he did, he fell forward and landed on that bar that's right in front of the seat, And I was like, oh, yeah. And he was like, man, and I'm hurting. And I was like, well, what do you mean you're hurting? And I don't know why I had to ask him that. And I kind of turned and was looking at something, and when I turned back, he goes, see, look. And he's wearing shorts. He pulls over his short leg, his pant leg for his shorts or whatever, and he has one of his testicles in his hand, okay? And I look at this thing and jerk my head back away, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. And then I go, wait a minute, what in the hell did I just see? So I turn back around, and I look. This thing's as big as a baseball. It's freaking huge. And I go, what'd you do? And he's like, man, he goes, I fell on that bar and I landed on that. And he goes, man, it just hurts so bad. He goes, do you think I should go to the doctor? I was like, hell yes, you should go to the doctor.
He doesn't need an ambulance. He needs a goddamn helicopter.
And it was huge. I mean, and after that had happened, I called my wife, and she's a nurse, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, hey, does he need to get to the hospital like pretty quick? And she's like, well, what's going on? And I tell him about his huge ass testicle, and she goes, oh my God, yes, he needs to go. I mean, I don't know. Can those things explode or something? I mean,
I believe so. Yes, I think someone in history, I've read it somewhere, has actually died from getting kicked in the balls, and a ball exploded. Yeah, it's a crazy thing, but.
Well, I was standing there, and the whole time while I'm talking to him, telling him about this,
you didn't notice a bulge.
I don't usually walk up and look at dudes' crotches when I see them.
Well, you've never been in the military.
So he's talking to me the whole time, and he's holding this testicle in his hand. And he's holding it out. And I'm like, hey, you could put that away. And I begged with this guy. I was like, please. I was like, look, how about we get the paramedics out here to at least take you to the hospital, because he's got no cards. All he has is a bicycle. And it's like, and he's like, no, I don't want a paramedics and all that stuff. And I was like, dude, I go, do you have insurance? And he was like, no, man. He goes, I've got whatever it is with the state or something. And I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. There's something wrong. You need to get this fixed. And he refused. I even offered to give him a ride myself to the hospital, and he just didn't care.
No, he cared.
Yeah, he did. But he didn't want to go, and I'm like, "Look, dude, you've got a freaking grapefruit in your pants."
There's no grown man that doesn't care about his testicles. He wanted those things taken care of. He just didn't have the capability to pay for that. But
yeah, that's probably what it was. But he needed something. You could tell just by looking at him. He was hurting, and he had like a little bit of a limp. I guess his leg would have hit it or something. And I guess it was hurting him. I'm like, dude, how are you still standing out here?
His limp was because his one swollen testicle had him weighed down on one side.
I guess so.
That's why.
Does that mean he'd be walking in a circle and had him weighed down?
At a long distance, yeah. He would be walking in a circle.
So yeah, that's they'll say, in a day I might get called out I don't know, 20 times or whatever, 18 of those 20 calls will be stuff like this. And it's like, what do you do? I mean, it's...
You do this in dispatch.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my my one that I wanted to get in quickly was, or one of be my first ones to get out there was the guy with the grapefruit in his pants.
Well, to go with that story, I have one, and it's not as long as yours. It's kind of a short story.
Yeah.
And it's not even one I have wrote down here for reference, but it's a ball story. Okay.
So is our first episode going to be talking about testicles all the time?
Might as well, But it was a basic training story. Okay. Obviously, when I went through basic training, we had COVID.
Yeah.
So we had...
Did you have to wear masks the whole time and shit?
Inside of our sleep bay, we did not, but outside, which there is fresh natural air.
Yeah, okay.
You had to wear one. Okay. During your workouts, when you were working out, running, you had to wear a mask.
Okay. Yeah,
there was there was
we
one
don't
time,
have to go there because I know how idiotic that can go.
There was one time we were running, and it was raining. While we were running. And my mask started getting so soaked that I was breathing in. Like, I was drinking while I was breathing. It was raining so hard on us.
So you're waterboarding yourself?
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. I was waterboarding myself while running. You know how hard that is?
Or giving yourself pneumonia or whatever that is?
Do you know how tough that is? It's not that easy of a task.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like it is. But anyway, get on to talking about
Oh, yeah, sorry. Close to the end of basic training, we had... Of course, not going to mention names because I don't want to put this man out there. He was a great man. He was one of our drill sergeants. And due to COVID, they did not teach combatives. So he didn't learn any kind of hands-on fighting techniques, which I've done wrestling before. I've done a little bit of jiu-jitsu, stuff like that.
So if y'all ever get called out, you'd ask the other person, say, hey, before I fight you, do you have COVID?
No, it'd be like, do you have hand-on fighting experience, or if I was to get deployed somewhere, I'd be like, hey, wait, hold on, can you hand to hand right now? Because I can't. We're out right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, no, we were, and our drill sergeant said, do y'all want to learn some things? Like, hell yeah, we want to learn some things. So we had some mats. We were one of the lucky bays that had a area that we had a mat storage, and we had placed them out on the floor, and we did some combatives training, and he taught us some things and stuff like that. Well, at night, as they say, when the cat's gone, the mice are at play, or however that goes.
When the cat's away, the mice will play.
Yes. Okay, drill sergeants are gone, so what do?
Have fun.
We have Fight Club in the sleep bay.
Okay.
Of course, at this time, I don't know if they still do it now or even past, but we at 1900, 7 o'clock, about 1945, drill sergeants went home, and there's like 1 or 2 drill sergeants that are still there for the whole company.
Yeah.
And they're in their AO area, their area of operation area. And they just kind of make rounds throughout the night. But anyways, so we started doing this wrestling tournament in our bay. And, of course, it's just Delta Company. So we started doing that, and I get called out. So I'm going. I get out there. Of course, I'm not going to back down. I'm not a bitch. And I get out there, start wrestling with this guy. I get him down. I'm on top of him. And he tries to get up, and a knee comes up. and nails me right in the twigging berries. So bad to the point that for 3 weeks my ball sack was purple.
I mean, there?
Huh?
He need you?
Need me on accident. It was accident.
Did
And
that shit hurt?
Oh God!
What'd you do?
What do you mean? What did I do?
Did you put ice on it or what?
There's no ice. You can't just go, hey, can I have ice for my balls? I guess I could have said, hey, for my shoulder or some crap like that, but then it would have made me go to med quarters.
Yeah, and then they'd be like, so what are you and your whatever guys doing together over there that your balls need ice?
I mean, they couldn't have said anything. Even knowing what I know now, if I had said we're touching each other, they couldn't have said anything. But no, it was so bad. Like I was like, they're going to hold me back because I don't know if I can march here in a couple days, because it was right before we were graduating, and I was unsure of my physical abilities at that moment because, well, even whenever I got to Fort Huachuca, and they were still that way for another week or two. It was bad. Like I thought I was gonna have to go. And actually I was waiting until I got there to go to the student clinic.
So you were in pain for like a couple weeks before you ever thought or got to somebody?
Yes. It hurt to. It didn't hurt to walk or do normal things, but to run, you might as well have been putting a half dozen hot pins on my sack.
So when everybody would leave or whatever,
talk about Fight Club.
Your buddies that you were with are all going to be pissed at you. You don't talk about Fight Club.
It wasn't really Fight Club. We didn't throw fist. Okay, so
it was just more, did like ground shit. Like
yeah, it was grappling. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I get you. Well, I'm not really sure how we're gonna close these out. This being the first episode, we're gonna get our stories out there, but we're probably going to have like a Facebook page. Eventually we're going to do this stuff where it's going to be on YouTube. We'll have video cameras and record it and all that stuff. But we're going to go ahead and call this one good. It's going to be episode 1. And appreciate you guys for listening. We're going to see if we can do this weekly. If we get enough guys involved that want to come and share their stories, it might be, twice a week or something. I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate you guys listening. Everybody take care of themselves out there and watch your